Alright guys, I've been getting a couple requests to kind of demonstrate or show off a little bit my Android head unit here in my car. This is called a Newsmy CarPad-II. It is the NU3001 model, and it has 2 gigabytes of RAM, a quad-core processor. It's got 8 gigabytes of internal storage. This is the head unit, doubled in size here. And it all connects and runs off of the brains of the operation here in the glove box. This is an Android box. It connects through a firewire cable here. You got your little power light indicator. It's also got a mini USB OTG cable, so you can plug in some expandable storage or connect it to a computer for whatever updates and modifications you got to do. It also has a full-size USB, which you can connect to a USB hub and have multiple inputs. I just have the one in there right now. Put that back in. And the one thing I have plugged in right now is a Logitech C270 camera. That's a 720p HD camera, and it's also got a built-in microphone. So that gives you your Google Now function. So looking here at the home screen, I have a Mercury Mariner, so I figured I'd try to make it look as stock as possible. My car is filthy, and I've been messing with things, so I don't have everything kind of fully installed the way I would normally have it and looking nice and clean and stock, but don't need that for these purposes right now. But you'll see that home screen there. I'm using the Google Now launcher, so I can always swipe over to the left, and I have my Google Now, quick access information, weather, some news stories, sports scores, whatever. Alright, but I also have, okay Google, drive to Louisville Public Library.
Navigating to Louisville Public Library.
And that's just one example. You get voice control, works really well. So this isn't going to work right now because I don't want it to. But we can also say, okay Google, open Pandora.
Opening Pandora.
And it should go ahead and open that app up for me. Doesn't seem to want to be listening to my controls right now, but that's okay. You get the idea. It gives you voice control. Normally it would go ahead and open up that app for me. I'm not sure why it obviously decided not to work as I'm showing it off, but you get the gist of it. Voice controls, you can say, okay, Pandora, turn down the volume. But we don't need to do that. We got volume controls here on the left-hand side. If you long press it, it'll give you an option to mute. Let's see. A little icon changes there. You just press down, up. That's pretty easy to see there. You got your back button and home button, and a power button will just turn off the screen. And we don't want to do that right now, so we will turn it back on. Along the bottom here, this navigation bar, custom navigation bar, you got quick access for the volume again there. You got a clock here that also serves as a home button. And I have it so when I'm on the home screen, the launcher, home button will bring up my app drawer. And you can see I got plenty of stuff installed in here. So same feature when you press the home button there. Now these lights, when you turn on the car lights, these will illuminate. And so at night you get those, you can see those buttons easy in the dark. But you also see how the home screen dims when the lights come on. I'm flicking that right now. So it dims everything down so it's not blinding while you're driving at night. Pretty convenient, pretty nice little feature. Alright, so let's just take a little walk through here. We got this headphone icon. If you long press it, it gives you a list of different apps you have configured for music apps. There's a built-in radio. Radio tuner works pretty well. It's supposed to have coming soon RDS feature, so you get the information for the tracks playing broadcast over FM. Doesn't work right now. It's not a feature I really care about. I have some presets there, and that's that. But let's hold this down again. We can go. Apollo is the built-in music player that I use for all my local files. And it works really well. I mean, you get album art information all right here, quick access to your albums, songs, artist posts, fan art. for each of you different people here. But it's a nice, good looking display. Again, you'll notice black theme throughout. But if we press play here, it's going to switch over to the audio for that. Let's see. You got these on-screen controls. You'll notice that nav bar is hidden now. If we just swipe up from the bottom, it'll come back. It's called immersive mode. It'll go ahead and hide itself again. You already have these on screen. You don't necessarily need to double up on your play, pause, skip track, backtrack. So, just for an example, volume-wise. Gets pretty loud. And if we go ahead and go back to the home screen, you'll see now it kicks into this music visualizer. So gives it a nice little display here on the screen. Get rid of that little shortcut there. But you got your volume controls right here. You can play and pause. I can skip songs. You can do whatever you want to do there. Moving along here, we got the navigation icon. You can long press that. Similar, it brings up a list of different navigation apps. I usually use maps. I have my internet connection tethered off of my cell phone, so I get LTE speeds about 32 megabytes per second. Download about 15 to 20 upload, so everything's pretty fast. It gets whatever information it needs through the internet pretty quick. But when I don't have internet access, here maps, I have the entire United States downloaded and saved onto a micro SD card that goes into that Android box. So plenty of storage space on there, and good for when you don't have internet connectivity. So this clock here serves as a home button, pulls up all those apps, but it also, if we long press it, it'll bring up a recent apps list. So we can go ahead and swipe certain ones away. We also have memory usage information on this bar across the bottom. So for a 2 gigabyte RAM device, usually have at least half available. This thing's real good about multitasking. I also have a little button here where I can kill off everything at once. And then again, when the music's not playing, it goes back to that regular home screen there that I have set. You'll see that information across the top is just giving you whatever media information from the last song that was playing or whatever is currently playing. And that'll stay there. If we hit the phone icon, we can long press it again. It gives whatever options I have. I have a different third-party dialer application I can use for doing outgoing calls. I also have the built-in Bluetooth hands-free version. Now, this device, the head unit itself has its own Bluetooth module, and it has its own microphone. You can see right there that's directly connected to that. So anytime the calls come in, you get a pop-up on screen, you can answer the call. You don't have to use your phone at all while you're on the road. And this also works for outgoing calls. There's some development in progress to kind of improve upon this so that it automatically pulls your synced contacts with your Google account. It would end my video here if I decided to try and make a call, so I'm not going to do that. But it would show the name of the person being called if it's in your contacts, and pulls their contact photo and shows it right there on screen. Very well done by the guys that are doing the ROM that I'm using. It's available on XDA. The ROM's called XD Auto. The version I have right now is the latest. It's version 1.16D, and they're constantly improving upon it. Great community effort. Definitely recommend running that software here on this device. A couple little gesture controls I have. If I swipe up, maybe not. If I swipe down, there we go. It brings up just a little dock here, and I'm constantly changing whatever apps are in there. But you can see here the camera. There you go. It pulls up pretty good. I mean, it's a good quality 720p camera. So that works well. You could always take a shot if you wanted to. Get a little selfie action, whoever passengers are in the car. I mean, it's fun, but most of the time I have this facing forward, so I can have it used as a dash cam. So I got a little record of what's going on as I'm driving. Go back to the home screen here. Do have a shortcut for that backup camera, and I wanted to show off that as well. You can always see behind me. I have a again, an HD camera that's built into the license plate frame in the back of the car. And if I turn the car on all the way, and I put the car into reverse here, you'll see it just automatically switches over to that rear view facing camera. Very convenient when you're backing up. Alright, so I'll go ahead and leave the car running for now. Wanted to show off a couple apps. I like, again, have a nice dark black, or either a clear with a kind of a dark tinted background or black background altogether. So some of the apps I use on a regular basis, let's take a look at Google Play Music. No white background. We don't like white UIs because at night the white is very bright and it's distracting while you're trying to navigate on the road. So the group that does these black background, black themed apps is called Team Blackout. They're also on xdadevelopers.com. They have their own app that helps you just download everything nice and smooth. Description ended, no thanks. But I mean, Google Play Music, you can familiarize yourself with that pretty well. If you're familiar with it, it's pretty easy, self-explanatory. But again, you get nice black everywhere. Very well done the way they theme their apps. You can also drag this down, you get your playlist. This is just one song, but everything works real well. So if I hold this back button, it's going to kill whatever app is in the foreground. It just goes right back to the home screen and stops whatever app is going on. Let's see. So Pandora, we like Pandora. I have a modified version of Pandora. You'll see it saying that it's Pandora 1 there. But the background, you'll see, is transparent. So it shows that visualization I showed off earlier. And it's good. While you're driving, you get that little effect through the background there. If I hit the thumbs up button on this song, it's going to ask me if I want to download. Yeah, why not? We like Diplo, that's a good song. You'll see the notification there, it's downloading. And I should get a notification when it's done downloading. Yep, saved. So there you go. Now I can listen to this song when I don't have internet connection. It's already saved. It already pulled the album art information, pulled the song information. It's already saved onto that Android box, so I don't need to use Pandora to read it anymore. But I also have unlimited skips and no advertisements. That works pretty well on a regular basis. So let me go ahead and kill off some things here. And Tablet Talk. Tablet Talk is installed on my cell phone. It's also installed here on the head unit. So when I get an incoming text message, I get a pop-up window, nice and big, and I can see all my text messages right there on screen. But if I wanted to, if I was at a light or sitting in the car, I can text directly from here, and it routes it through my cell phone. You notice the keyboard here? It's black right now. The keyboard, as well as the navigation bar and the status bar, are automatically going to change colors to match whatever app is running at the time. So that's convenient, and I like it. It gives it a kind of uniform look to everything. Nice and smooth. Let's open up an app so we can show that in progress. Let's say, oh, okay. So awesome pop-up video. And I'm going to show you what this app does itself. But you'll notice this action bar is what this is called here, just below the status bar. Whatever color that is, it's going to match there. Alright. So let's kill that off. And the app I use for those colors on the nav bar and the status bar is called Flat Style Colored Bars. You can see again, it's changed to that blue to match the color of the action bar in this app. If we go back to the home drawer, the one that does it for the keyboard is called Flat Style Keyboard. Those are both something called expose modules. So if you're familiar with Android, rooting your device is always a good idea to get all these customizations. But on top of that, there's something called the exposed framework. And I'll show at the end, I'll just go through and just point out a couple apps I have and modules with expose that give all these customization options. Something else I wanted to show. Oh yeah. YouTube, again, black themed. Got that black background. It just looks better, man. Everything's kind of uniform. My car is all black and silver, black on black. It's filthy right now, but it just makes it look more stock. When I have the borders covered up here with the trim, it makes it just look like it came out of the factory that way. Let's go ahead and play something here. Alright, there's a good one. So you'll see that video starts to load. It loads up pretty quick, but it doesn't automatically play. You'll see this box here. It's loading up in a separate window, and that's what I refer to as awesome video pop-up. So now this is a little hover window. So that has the video right there. I don't need to stay in YouTube. I can press the home button again, go back to doing something else, driving. I can have my navigation running in the background. This video stays on top of the screen, on top of everything else. Move it around. Let's see, the animation's going in the background, the visualizer, as well as the video playing here with the audio. So, something we can also pop up and just put in the background. So, now it's available here in the status bar, but we don't have to worry about it here on screen. So, it's not a good idea to be watching a video as you're trying to navigate around, you know what I mean? You want to keep your eyes on the road. So, you can still play music, or if you have playlists configured in a YouTube playlist, your account, you can have that audio playing through that. That works pretty well. Let's see. Again, we can just click on this and it'll bring that video back to the foreground. So that's always convenient. We can pop it back into full screen mode again or not. This will give you quick access to whatever you have in queue as a playlist. You can play and pause right there. You can also, when it's in pop-up mode, these controls here aren't going to work. But that's alright, you got it right there on screen. If you wanted to make it larger, you can just do that as well. But I keep it small. I don't want it in the way. When it's in the pop-up mode, it's just there so I can see whatever's on the home screen, whatever else I need to do. We can go ahead and stop that. Let's see here. Let's kill these off, just so nothing's getting confused as I'm showing things off. Yeah, again, Apollo. I'd already showed you this, but we can press play, go home. I can skip tracks right here from the home screen. No, I don't have to have that open and in the foreground. It can be sitting in the background, and I still have play, pause, control. And if you have something playing and you open up something else, whatever app is in the foreground and is playing audio, that's going to take over. So it'll automatically pause this and skip and transition over to what it is I have playing in the background. Of course, you got full browser. You know, it's just like any Android tablet. Whatever you can run on a tablet, you can run here on this. You know, it's running off of the brains of the operation there in the glove box. And what's really nice about it is you can take that Android box out of the glove box, bring it inside to the house, and plug it into an HDMI, and you have a full Android, basically a set-top box, almost like a mini PC, Android-based PC, there on your big screen, and it works very well. I have a wireless keyboard I plug in. I could use that here in the car if I wanted to as well, for navigation. I do that if for some reason I was going to be using Kodi in the vehicle. Kodi gives you access to all sorts of stuff. Kodi is a great application. It's a full media center. So, you know, this will give you access to any movie, any TV, live TV shows, sports. You know, I can watch ESPN from inside the car if I wanted to. Now, I haven't updated this recently, so it may not want to run real well right now, but let's see. Let's check live sports real quick. Now, let's see if ESPN will play for us. It should load. some point. Yeah, see, you can see it's updating all these other things in the background, so that's taking up internet space. I don't think it's going to play right now. It was a good idea. Sorry, guys. There we go. There's just too many things going on in the background, so I don't think that's going to want to do its thing right now. But again, if I hold down the back button, it's going to kill whatever's in the front. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, so I have some. MX Player is a great universal video player. It'll play just about anything. Google Here Maps, we already discussed that. I'm sorry, not Google. That used to be a Nokia company. ES File Explorer. This gives you access to all your different storage locations. Swipe over here. This is what's on the device itself, the internal storage. That's what's called SD card. I also have the external storage. So, you can have all sorts of music, all sorts of stuff in here. And all these, they usually pull the album art. And this is just so you can manage all your files and whatnot. But if you have this installed and you have it installed on your phone as well, it makes it an easy way to send files back and forth. So you don't have to necessarily be plugging into a computer to transfer files over all the time. You can send it through a Wi-Fi hotspot file transfer. You could also do a Bluetooth connection and send files that way if you wanted to. And again, I can always open this up and kill off whatever I don't want to be running in the background. I did mention, yeah, here's the Bluetooth. Now this is for the Bluetooth that's contained on the head unit device itself. The Android box has its own Bluetooth module that you're more used to between any two Android devices. This one's just for the hands-free, Bluetooth hands-free device for calls, and if you wanted to have music going back and forth. So if I had a passenger, they want to play something from their phone, it's pretty easy. I just turn that on, let them connect, simple PIN code. They can stream whatever they want to over a Bluetooth connection. We'll go back to the app drawer here. So, Music Visualizer is the program that does that visualization with the sound. Again, we've got full access to the Play Store. So whatever you can download on an Android phone or a tablet, you can download here. And again, this one is black themed, dark backgrounds, just trying to keep things consistent. But I have access to any of my apps, basically that I've ever had on any Android device. They're all here. And as you can see, I mean, this thing is pulling those icons in real time as I'm scanning. There's hardly any delay. It has those LTE speeds and everything goes rather quickly. If you're familiar with Android, you're familiar with these Google apps. So I don't need to go into too much detail about all that. Snapchat again. For some reason, I needed to be doing Snapchatting while I'm driving. That's available right there. SoundCloud, very popular. I'm working on getting a black themed version here, but I mean, this one also looks real good while you're driving. You want to show off your stuff. And again, you see how quickly it transitions back and forth between different time frames. This is all streaming. This isn't a local save song. Go back to the home screen. We'll let that play in the background. And so that's basically the gist of it. You get the handle on what it's like to operate on a daily basis. As I'm driving around, everything's within arm's reach. There is something called Viper for Android. Again, available through XDA forums, but this is basically a full EQ. I don't have it set too crazy right now, but you have the same kind of full control, full EQ control that you would have on any high-end head unit system here. You have a bunch of extra features, extra bass boost. I like that boost. But that's what does your audio processing, so everything always sounds good. here's the exposed modules. Alright, so I can go and show just a quick run through of a couple in here. There's that awesome pop-up video. That's a specific one for YouTube to work with it, but it works with all sorts of different types of video players and websites, Facebook videos, whatever you want it to. App settings is what lets me control whether or not we're hiding these bars here on the bottom, top or bottom. App settings lets you configure each app to have different display configurations. Let's see. Bluetooth toolkit makes it so you can transfer any type of file via Bluetooth. Those flat style colored bars and flat style colored keyboard. Let's give you those options there. Force Pandora rich notification. That's what forces that Pandora notification when you pull it down from the status bar to be full size. So you get your full player controls, thumbs up, thumbs down, directly from the status bar if you wanted to. Let's see, Pandora Patcher. That's what patches Pandora and gives me all those great features. Exposed GEL settings. That's what gives you those customization options over your launcher, Google Now launcher. So it makes it so I have different icons in my app drawer. Makes it so I have those gestures to auto hide the dock. Background YouTube playback. Some of these aren't enabled right now. I'm just not using them. I'm using something different instead. You can see, there's a list there. But some of these are really useful. I mean, you can give them a different look and figure out some things. I do have something called minimum brightness, so it does make it so the absolute minimum brightness is that much darker. So there's no need to be blinded while you're driving. SoundCloud's got an advertisement going on right now. We don't like that. As you can see, it stays with a good amount of memory free, so it's always constantly good amount of free space, smooth transitions between your apps. So that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, want to know how things get set up or configured, I'm more than happy to help out with that. But it was really just to kind of show, so people had a better idea of what everything looked like and what kind of feel you get on a regular basis as you're using this. That's about that, man. Hit me up, leave a comment if you need something. I'm available. Otherwise, I'm going to get on the road and go jam out. Thanks for watching.